Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to discuss about the diversity in digestive structures. In case of vertebrates, vertebrates are those animals that contain vertebral column are called the vertebrates. The complete digestive tract is called the gut. It is in the form of a tube that is highly specialized in both structure and function for the digestion of a wide variety of foods. The basic structures of the gut tube include the buccal cavity, then the pharynx, then the esophagus, then the stomach, then the small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus or cloaca. In addition, three important glandular systems are associated with the digestive tract. First one, the salivary glands, second one, the liver and the gallbladder and the bile duct, and third one is the pancreas and the pancreatic duct. The gut consists of buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus or the cloaca. And glandular systems are three in number. First one is the salivary glands, second one the liver, and third one is the gallbladder. Pancreas and pancreatic duct and gallbladder are also. Student, this is the diagram of a digestive system. And digestive tube consisting of buccal cavity and pharynx, then esophagus, and salivary glands are also shown here. Then esophagus leads to stomach, and then liver is shown here, and hepatic duct, then gallbladder is here, and common bile duct, pancreas and its duct, then colon or the large intestine, and then small intestine is here, and then appendix. Small outgrowth is here, that is called appendix, and now next one is the rectum, and then the anus. Because most vertebrates spend the majority of their time in gaining food, in acquiring food, feeding is the यूनिवर्सल पास टाइम. अपना टाइम ज़्यादातर वो फीडिंग में गुजार देते हैं, और इनकी फीडिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स जो हैं, ओरल कैविटी है, टीथ है, इंटेस्टाइन और दूसरे मेजर स्ट्रक्चर्स, डाइजेस्टिव स्ट्रक्चर्स जो हैं वो रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं कि एनिमल कैसे फूड गैदर कर रहा है, कौन सी टाइप ऑफ फूड ले रहा है, और यानी क्या खा रहा है, एंड द वे इट डाइजेस्ट दैट फूड, और किस तरीके से डाइजेस्ट करता है उस फूड को, डिपेंड करता है. यानी उनकी जो मॉडिफिकेशंस होती हैं ओरल कैविटी की, इंटेस्टाइन्स की या दूसरे डाइजेस्टिव स्ट्रक्चर्स की, वो इन फैक्टर्स के ऊपर, इन बेसिक्स के ऊपर डिपेंड कर रही हैं. These major digestive structures are now discussed to illustrate the diversity of form and function among different vertebrates. First one is the tongue. Tongue or tongue-like structure develops in the floor or of the oral cavity in many vertebrates. For example, a lamprey, you have discussed earlier, has a protrusible tongue. उसकी बाहर निकलने वाली टंग है जो बाहर निकल आती है, विद हॉर्नी टीथ, उसके ऊपर थॉर्नी टीथ लगे हुए हैं, दैट रैप्स इट्स प्रे फ्लैश, जो कि प्रे का जो फ्लैश है उसको रैस्प कर देती है. फिशेस में हैव ए प्राइमरी टंग that bears teeth that help hold the prey. However, this type of tongue is not muscular. Tetrapods have evolved mobile tongues for gathering food. Frogs and salamanders, you have observed, and some lizards can rapidly project part of their tongue from the mouth to capture an insect. जल्दी से अपनी टंग बाहर निकालते हैं और कैप्चर कर लेते हैं इंसेक्ट को. A woodpecker has a long spiny tongue for gathering insect and grubs. An ant and the termite-eating mammals also gather food with long sticky tongues. Spiny papillae on the tongues of the cats and other carnivores help these animals rasp flesh from the bone. This fig shows the tongue of different animals. First one, rasping tongue and mouth of a lamprey, as shown in the diagram, and then the tongue of a chameleon, catching prey, catching insects or the prey, and also the next is the woodpecker, that is a bird, and woodpecker extract insect from the bark of a tree. The next category, the teeth. Most vertebrates have teeth. Teeth are absent In birds, turtles, and baleen whales, birds lack teeth. It reduces their body weight for the flight. So this is a flight adaptation. Teeth are strongest organ of the body. The teeth of the snake slope backward, अंदर की तरफ मुड़े हुए होते हैं. They hold the prey during swallowing. निगलने के दौरान जो है ये प्रे को होल्ड करते हैं. The canine teeth of wolves are specialized for ripping food. चीर फाड़ कर खाने के लिए उनके teeth modified होते हैं. Deer have grinding teeth. The front teeth of beaver are used for chiseling trees and branches. The elephant is the herbivore, has two large upper front teeth. These teeth are specialized for moving objects. Humans, pigs, bears, and raccoons, and few other mammals are omnivores. Their teeth can perform a number of tasks like tearing, ripping, chiseling, and grinding. Next is the salivary glands. Most fishes lack salivary gland in the head region. Lampreys have a pair of glands that secrete an anticoagulant. Anticoagulant खून को जमने से रोकने वाली चीज़ जो है, that is needed to keep their prey's blood flowing as they feed. Some snakes produce venom from the modified salivary glands that is injected through the fangs. लंबे से नोकीले से दांत होते हैं, उनको फैंक्स कहा जाता है. टू इमोबिलाइज प्रे को इमोबिलाइज करने के लिए. Amphibians, reptiles, and most birds lack salivary glands. Mammals have salivary glands. Now, figure 27.7 shows the arrangement of teeth in a variety of vertebrates. First one is the fig A. Second one of arrangement of teeth in case of the wolf. Third one of deer. And fourth one, D is beaver. And the next one is of elephant. And F is about the arrangement of teeth in case of the humans. Part is the esophagus. Esophagus is short in fishes and amphibians, but much longer in case of the amniotes due to their longer necks. And grain and seed-eating birds have a crop that develops from the caudal portion of the esophagus. Storing food in the crop ensures an almost continuous supply of food to the stomach and intestine for digestion. This structure allows these birds to reduce the frequency of feeding and still maintain a high metabolic rate. And next is the stomachs. The stomach is an ancestral vertebrate structure that evolved as a vertebrate. Vertebrates began to feed on larger organisms that were caught at less frequent intervals and required storage. Some zoologists believe that the gastric glands and their production of hydrochloric acid preserve food. The enzyme pepsinogen may be evolved later because the stomach is not essential for digestion. We already know stomach contains HCl and also some enzymes, and one of them is the pepsinogen. In inactive form, it is activated to pepsin. The next part is the gizzards. Some fishes, some reptiles such as crocodilians and all birds have gizzards for grinding up food. The bird's gizzard develops from the posterior part of the stomach called the ventriculus. Pebbles, grit, छोटे से stone-like structures have been swallowed are often retained in the gizzard of grain-eating birds and facilitate the grinding process. 7.8 A1. A is showing the digestive tract of a pigeon. Students, move on to figure 27.8. Arrangement of stomach and intestine in variety of vertebrates. First one is showing about the digestive system of a pigeon. Here you can see it is starting from the esophagus, then it leads to the crop, then further the stomach, then liver is shown here, then the gizzard is shown, then pancreas is shown, then the small intestine, and then rectum, and then cloaca is shown in case of the pigeon. And in case of pigeon, we already know it lack teeth and it is an flight adaptation. Next one, B is figure B. Figure B is showing about the digestive system of a lungfish, starting from the stomach, starting from the pharynx, then duct going to the that is called the lung duct, then stomach and pyloric valve, and then bile duct is shown here, spiral valves are shown, and then anus, intestine leading to the anus, pharynx, stomach, pyloric valves are here, spiral valves are here, then intestine ending at the anus. This is in case of the lungfish. And next is the teleost fish, starting from the pharynx, and here the swim bladder, a duct to the swim bladder is present. That is not present in case of the lungfish, you have seen. Next is the pyloric ceca, then gallbladder is shown, stomach is shown, and then intestine and ending at the anus. And the last one is about the frog. You well know about the frog digestive system, starting from the pharynx, and then to the esophagus, then to the stomach, and then to the in case of frog, stomach leads to duodenum, then small intestine, then bladder is shown, then cloaca. These are the arrangement of stomach and intestine in case of pigeon, lungfish, teleost, and case of the frog. Last one is the frog. Next is the next structure in the guts is the rumen or the rumens. Ruminant mammals जो जुगाली करते हैं, that chew their cud, जो जुगाली करते हैं, ऐसे एनिमल्स जो जुगाली करेंगे उनको आप ruminants कहेंगे. Such as cows, sheep and deer show some of the most unusual modification of the stomach. This method of digestion has evolved in animals that need to eat large amount of food relatively quickly but can chew the food at a more comfortable or safer location. More important though, the ruminant stomach provides an opportunity for large number of microorganisms to digest the cellulose wall of the grass and other vegetation. Cellulose contains a large amount of energy. However, animals generally lack the ability to produce the enzyme cellulase for digesting the cellulose and obtaining this energy. Because gut microorganism can produce cellulase, they have made the herbivore's lifestyle more effective. The microorganisms that are present in the stomach of ruminants produce a enzyme that is called the cellulase that help to digest the cellulose wall of the plants. Next, parts of stomach of ruminants. First one is a rumen. In ruminants, the upper portion of the stomach expand to form a large pouch that is called the rumen. And second one is a reticulum. This is the smallest portion. And omasum. The lower portion of the stomach consists of a small chamber that is called the omasum. And abomasum. It is a true stomach or abomasum, entrance or waiting room behind the omasum. Mechanism of digestion. First of all, the food enters the rumen, aided by the secretions, body heat and churning of the rumen. The microorganism partially digest the food and form the pulp. नरम उसको कर देते हैं food को. Later, the pulpy mass moves into the reticulum. From there, it is regurgitated. वापस मुंह में ले जाते हैं as a cud. At this time, the food is thoroughly chewed for the first time. When re-swallowed, the food enters the rumen where it becomes more liquid. Then digestive food material flows out of the reticulum and into the omasum, and then the glandular region or abomasum. Here the digestive enzymes act and digestion continues. We are discussing about the ruminants. Ruminants are those organisms that regurgitate their food, and they contain a stomach that consists of 4 parts. The first part of the stomach is called the rumen. Second one is a reticulum, then omasum, and then abomasum. जुगाली करने वाले ऑर्गेनिजम्स जो हैं, जुगाली करने वाले जानवर जो हैं, वो रूमिन्स के अंदर आएंगे और उनको हम रूमिनेंट्स कहेंगे। और नेक्स्ट जो है, अगर इसकी डायग्राम देखी जाए तो डायग्राम शो करती है कि ये फर्स्ट पार्ट जो है वो जो बड़ा पार्ट नज़र आता है दैट इज़ द रूमेन, देन रेटिक्यूलम है, देन ओमेजम है, देन एबोमेसम है। एबोमेसम जो है वो ट्रू स्टमक है और इसके साथ शो किया गया पाइलोरिक स्टमक, पाइलोरिक स्फिंक्टर, देन दैट लीड्स टू द ड्यूडेनम। The four-chambered stomach of a cow, where the symbiotic microorganism digests cellulose, grass eaten by the ruminants, enters the rumen first of all. Second one, where it is partially digested. And before moving into the second chamber, the reticulum, the food may be regurgitated and rechewed. दोबारा से उसको रिच्यू किया जाता है. Then the food is then transported to the posterior two chambers, the omasum and the abomasum. Only abomasum secretes the gastric juice or the digestive enzymes. डायग्राम ये शो हो रही है बफलो के अंदर और शीप के अंदर इनका डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम शो हो रहा है. ईसोफेगस लीडिंग टू द स्टमक एंड र्यूमेन इज शोन इन केस ऑफ बफलो. देन इन केस ऑफ द शीप जो है आपने देखा है कि र्यूमेन शो हो रहा है, दैट इज़ अ नॉन एसिडिफाइड पार्ट. देन जो है एसिडिफाइड पार्ट ऑफ द स्टमक जो है वो शो हो रहा है. देन स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन है, देन सीकम है, हाइंड गट कोलोन है इन केस ऑफ द शीप. The mechanism of digestion: food first of all enters through the mouth into the rumen, then aided by the secretion, body heat and churning action of the rumen, and the microorganisms also partially digest the food and form the pulpy mass. Then जो है पल्पी मैस जो है वो रेटिकुलम में मूव करेगा, जहाँ पे रिगर्जिटेशन दोबारा से उसको मुंह में ले जाएगा. रेटिकुलम से दोबारा से माउथ के अंदर जाएंगे, फिर जो है थॉरली उसको च्यू किया जाएगा. देन रीस्वेलोड एंड enters the stomach first part, that is called the rumen. Then it becomes more liquid. The digestive food material flows out of the reticulum and into the omasum, then glandular region, the abomasum. Here the digestive enzymes act and digestion continues. Four-chambered stomach of a cow, where the symbiotic microorganism digests cellulose. Grass eaten by the ruminants enter the rumen, where it is partially digested. Then before moving to the second chamber, the reticulum, the food may be regurgitated and rechewed. Then the food is transported to the posterior two chambers, the abomasum, and only the abomasum secretes the gastric juice. Omasum and the abomasum is the true stomach. Here the numbers are shown, showing the mechanism of digestion. Part of the gut or the alimentary canal or the digestive tract is the ceca. Microorganisms attack the food of the ruminants before gastric digestion. But in typical non-ruminant herbivores, ऐसे animals जो कि जुगाली नहीं करते, microbial action on the cellulose occurs after digestion. Rabbits, horses and rats digest cellulose by maintaining a population of microorganisms in their usually large cecum. Adding to this efficiency, a few non-ruminant herbivores such as mice and the rabbits eat some of their own feces to process the remaining material in them, such as vitamins. Here is an extensive cecum of a non-ruminant herbivore such as the rabbit, as shown in the diagram, starting from the esophagus, leading to the stomach, then small intestine, then appendix is shown, then large intestine, and last one is the anus. These are the non-ruminants जो कि जुगाली नहीं करते लेकिन ये herbivore होते हैं. Next part is the liver and the gallbladder. In case of the vertebrates that have gallbladder, it is closely associated with the liver. The liver manufactures bile, which is stored in the gallbladder. Bile is a fluid that have bile salts and bile pigments. You already know about this. Bile salts emulsify dietary fat to ease the enzyme lipase function. Bile pigment result from phagocytosis of the RBCs in the spleen, liver, and the red bone marrow. Phagocytosis breaks the hemoglobin molecule, releasing iron, and remainder of the molecule is converted into pigment that enter the circulation. These pigments are extracted from the circulation in the liver and excreted in the bile as a bilirubin, the red bile, and bilirubinin, the green bile. The diagram is shown dorsal pancreas here, just like a leaf. Leaf duodenum is shown, and ventral pancreas, dorsal pancreas, and the ventral pancreas. Gallbladder is shown, and near the gallbladder, a liver is shown. Liver forms the pigment, and liver forms a secretion that is called the bile that is stored in the gallbladder. Bile have bile salts and bile pigments. These are important in the emulsification of dietary fat and also helps in the function of the enzyme lipase. And bile pigments result from the phagocytosis of RBCs in the spleen, liver, and the red bone marrow. Bile helps in fat digestion. The gallbladder is large in carnivores and vertebrates, in which the fat is an important part of the diet. It is much reduced or absent in bloodsuckers, lampreys, and the herbivores like teleost fishes, and many birds and the rats. Next one is the pancreata, your pancreas. Every vertebrate has a pancreas. In lampreys and lungfishes, it is embedded in the wall of the intestine, is not visible organ. Both endocrine and exocrine tissues are present, but the cell composition varies. Pancreatic fluid is produced by the pancreas, containing many enzymes, empties into the small intestine via pancreatic duct. Next one's the last one of the gut, intestines. The shape and the division of the small and large intestine vary greatly among the vertebrates. Intestines are closely related to the animals' types of food, body size, and the level of activity. Examples: cyclostomes, these are the jawless fishes. Chondrichthyes fishes and primitive bony fishes have short, nearly straight intestine that extend from the stomach to the anus. In more advanced bony fishes, the intestine increases in length and begins to coil. The intestines are moderately long in most amphibians and reptiles. In birds and the mammals, the intestines are longer and have more surface area than those of the other tetrapods. Birds have two ceca. Mammals have a single cecum at the beginning of the large intestine. The large intestine is much longer in mammals than in the birds and empties into the cloaca in case of the most vertebrates. This is all about the digestive tract of vertebrates, starting from the oral cavity consisting of tongue. Gut of the vertebrate consisting of oral cavity, and oral cavity contains salivary glands, tongue, teeth, and then the pharynx and the esophagus, second part, third one the stomach, then the gizzard, and fifth one the rumens in case of the ruminants, then the ceca, and seventh one the liver and the gallbladder, and the last one part of the gut or the alimentary canal of the vertebrate is the intestines. And intestine shape and division of small and large intestine is different in different vertebrates depending upon the animal's type of food, body size, and the level of activity.